Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a simple yet profound message: embrace your strength. Too often we look outwardly for validation, for the world to recognize our worth, but the truth is that the greatest strength we can ever possess is already within us. It's been there all along, waiting for you to recognize it, nurture it, and allow it to rise to the surface. Let me begin by asking you this: have you ever felt small? Have you ever doubted your ability to rise above the challenges that life throws at you? It's easy to feel powerless when you look at the world around you, but real strength is not defined by what you have or haven't achieved or the circumstances you're facing. Strength is defined by your capacity to stand firm no matter what. It's the quiet determination that says, I will rise again no matter how many times I fall. Your experiences, your battles, even your losses, these have shaped you. They have tempered your spirit, honed your resilience, and ignited your fire. What you must realize is this: the power that brought you this far is the same power that will carry you to even greater heights. Your inner strength is undeniable. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Strength is about being tough, right? About having an unbreakable exterior. But here's the truth: true strength comes from vulnerability. It's in allowing yourself to feel, to be open, to admit that you don't have all the answers, that you're struggling. When you embrace your vulnerability, you are embracing the fullness of who you are. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a power, because it takes true courage to stand up and say, I am not perfect, but I am enough. When you accept yourself, flaws and all, you unlock a wellspring of strength that will propel you forward beyond any fear or insecurity. We all have an inner critic that tells us we're not good enough. It whispers doubts in our ears, tells us we're too small, too weak, too unworthy of success. But here's what you need to know: that voice, it's a lie. The only way to silence self-doubt is by taking action, by proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are deserving. You must silence the noise of fear and focus on your true potential. Every time you take a step towards your goal, no matter how small, you are defeating doubt. You are affirming your strength. It's in the darkest moments of life that we often find our brightest light. Adversity is not a stumbling block, it's the very soil in which your strength will grow. Life may not always go according to your plan, but I assure you those challenges are not setbacks, they are opportunities for transformation. You are made stronger by the very things that try to break you. And when you learn to see adversity as fuel for your growth, you shift your perspective. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones to your greatness. Resilience is not something that happens overnight. It's built through consistent, determined action. It's in getting up after you've been knocked down, even when you feel exhausted, even when it feels easier to quit. Resilience is forged in the fire of perseverance, and it is your willingness to act despite the obstacles that will ultimately make you unstoppable. Remember, strength isn't about avoiding failure. It's about getting up again and again, no matter how many times you fall. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how difficult, is building the kind of resilience that will carry you through any storm. Finally, understand that your strength is not just for you, it is a gift to those around you. When you embrace your own power, you create space for others to do the same. Your strength, your courage, your resilience, it inspires others to step into their own greatness. When you fully own your strength, you not only change your life, but you also change the lives of those who are watching you. You give them permission to rise, to be bold, and to step into their own power. So today, I challenge you to embrace your strength. Recognize it, own it, nurture it, and let it inspire you to take action, to push past your doubts, and to rise above any challenge life throws at you. Because your strength is limitless, and when you embrace it, there's nothing you can't achieve. There's a power within you waiting to be recognized. I'm not talking about the kind of strength that's measured by the weight you can lift, the speed at which you can run, or the height you can jump. I'm talking about something much deeper, much more profound, a strength that can't be measured by any physical standard. It's the power that resides in the very core of who you are, shaped by every moment of your life, every struggle you faced, and every victory, no matter how small it may seem. That power is yours, and it has always been there. But too often we overlook it. We're conditioned to search for power outside of ourselves, in the approval of others, in external achievements, in the things we own. We are taught to believe that our worth is determined by what we have or what others think of us. And while those things can be rewarding, they are not where true strength lies. True power comes from within, from the quiet resilience that you have built over time, from the lessons you've learned through your most challenging moments. Look back at the obstacles you've overcome. The times when you didn't know how you were going to make it through, but you did. That is your power. It's in the moments when you felt broken, yet somehow found the courage to stand up again. It's in the times you doubted yourself, but chose to keep going anyway. Every single step you've taken on your journey, no matter how hard it seemed at the time, has contributed to the person you are today. The very fact that you're here, still standing, still fighting, still dreaming, this is proof of your strength. Your power is in the way you show up despite the setbacks. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you push through the doubt, the fear, and the uncertainty. It's in your ability to keep moving forward even when the road ahead looks unclear. This is the strength that no one can take from you. It's yours by birthright, and it can never be diminished. The truth is, you have everything you need inside you to overcome any challenge, to rise above any circumstance, to reach heights you've only dreamed of. The power to create change in your life, the power to take control of your future, the power to rise after every fall. It's all in you. What you've been through doesn't define you. What you do with it, how you rise from it, and how you choose to step into your greatness, that is what will define you. The power within you doesn't need to be earned or proven. It's already there, waiting for you to believe in it. It's waiting for you to recognize it, to claim it, to use it. It's in the decisions you make every day to keep going, to stay true to yourself, to be the person you know you're meant to be. That inner strength, that unshakable power is what will carry you through whatever comes your way. So take a moment right now to recognize it. Close your eyes, feel it, and acknowledge that it's always been with you. Know that the strength to change your life, to conquer your fears, to break free from what holds you back is within you. You were never weak. You were never small. You are stronger than you've ever given yourself credit for. The only thing left to do is to embrace it and let it guide you toward the life you were meant to live. There's a common misconception in the world that strength is about being invulnerable, about putting up walls and hiding your true self from others. We think that to be strong, we must appear unbreakable, like we have it all together, like nothing affects us. But I'm here to tell you that the most powerful thing you can do is to be vulnerable. In fact, vulnerability is where true strength is born. It takes incredible courage to be vulnerable, to show up in the world as your authentic self, to expose the parts of you that you've hidden, and to say, this is me, all of me, with my flaws, my fears, my pain, and my hopes. It's so easy to hide behind a mask, to put on a facade and pretend we're okay when we're not. It's easier to pretend that we have it all figured out than to admit that sometimes we don't. But when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we allow others to see the real us, and in that openness we discover our greatest strength. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's not about being broken or exposed in a way that makes us less than. On the contrary, it's in that openness that we find our greatest power. It is the willingness to say, I don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's in sharing our struggles, our doubts, and our challenges with others that we create a bond, a connection that can never be forged by perfection or by pretending. When we choose vulnerability, we allow others to see our humanity, and in turn, we invite them to share their own stories, their own struggles, and their own truths. The truth is, vulnerability is where healing begins. It's where the chains of shame and fear are broken. When we hide our true selves, when we suppress our emotions, we carry a weight that eventually wears us down. But when we step into the light and allow ourselves to be seen, we release that burden. We no longer have to pretend to be someone we're not. We no longer have to live in the shadows, afraid of what others might think if they really knew us. In that space of vulnerability, we find freedom, we find peace. And most importantly, we find the power to be who we were always meant to be. When we embrace vulnerability, we also embrace growth. Growth happens when we step out of our comfort zone, when we take risks and face our fears head on. And vulnerability requires exactly that. It asks us to step into the unknown, to face our insecurities, and to trust that even if we stumble, we will rise again. The more we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, the more we learn about ourselves. We start to see the beauty in our imperfections, the strength in our scars, and the wisdom in our struggles. And let's not forget the power that vulnerability has in our relationships. When we open ourselves up to others, we invite them to do the same. We create a safe space where people can be real, where they don't have to hide, and where true connections can flourish. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects us all. It is what allows us to see the humanity in each other, to offer support, love, and compassion without judgment. It is what enables us to lift one another up and walk through life's challenges together, knowing that we don't have to face them alone. In a world that often tells us to be strong, to be perfect, and to hide our emotions, I urge you to choose vulnerability. Don't hide the parts of yourself that you think are broken or flawed. Let them shine. Embrace them. Your vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to your courage, your authenticity, and your willingness to show up as you are. And in doing so, you will discover a strength beyond anything you could have imagined. Adversity has a way of testing us, of pushing us to the very edge, making us question whether we have what it takes to keep going. There are times when life feels like an endless series of obstacles, a road that's more full of potholes than smooth pavement. In those moments, it's easy to feel like giving up is the only option. But what if I told you that those very challenges you face are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you? What if I told you that every hardship, every setback, every failure is simply the fuel that will drive you to greatness? We often view adversity as something negative, as a barrier between us and our dreams, but I want you to reframe it for a moment. Imagine instead that adversity is the raw material that can turn your life into a masterpiece. The struggles you face are not roadblocks, they are the stepping stones on the path to your personal transformation. They are the fire that forges your resilience, the pressure that shapes your character, and the struggles that turn your dreams into reality. It's in the darkest moments of our lives that we discover the brightest parts of ourselves. When everything is stripped away, when all the comfort and certainty is gone, you are left with one thing: your strength. And it's in these moments, in the face of adversity, that we are forced to dig deeper, to find that strength we didn't even know we had. When we face challenges head on, we stop running from the pain and instead turn toward it, knowing that each struggle is an opportunity for growth. We begin to understand that it's not the obstacles themselves that define us, it's how we rise from them. Think about the times in your life when you thought you couldn't go any further, when you felt broken, defeated, or lost. And yet here you are. You didn't give up. You didn't let the weight of your circumstances crush you. You found a way through, and that's because adversity does not have the power to defeat you unless you let it. It may knock you down, but it cannot keep you down unless you choose to stay there. The true power lies in getting back up, in standing tall in the face of challenge, and in using that challenge to fuel your next step forward. Every hardship you face is shaping you. It's teaching you valuable lessons that no textbook or mentor could ever provide. You learn how to be resourceful, how to think outside the box, how to adapt to change. You learn what you're truly capable of when everything seems impossible. And most importantly, you learn that adversity is not the end of your story, it's just the beginning of the next chapter. When you choose to use adversity as fuel, you turn your pain into purpose. Instead of letting setbacks hold you back, you let them propel you forward. You stop viewing hardship as something to fear and start seeing it as a challenge to overcome, a chance to grow stronger. You begin to realize that every time you push through difficulty, you are expanding your capacity for success. And with each victory, no matter how small, you are building a momentum that will carry you through future obstacles with even greater strength and determination. Think about those who inspire you, those who have achieved great things. The truth is, their stories aren't filled with smooth sailing. They have faced failure, rejection, heartbreak, and doubt. But it was their response to adversity that set them apart. They didn't let the tough times define them. Instead, they used those tough times as fuel to push harder, work smarter, and become stronger. They understood that the struggle was never the end, it was the foundation of something much greater. So the next time you face adversity, I want you to remember this: you are not being broken by your circumstances, you are being molded by them. You are becoming something more than you were before, something stronger, something wiser. The very thing that once threatened to defeat you is the very thing that will push you to achieve things you never thought possible. When you embrace adversity, when you turn it into fuel, you unlock a power within you that no obstacle can ever extinguish. And that power, it's unstoppable. Resilience is not a quality that you are simply born with, it's something you build piece by piece through your actions. It's the ability to face life's storms without letting them break you. It's the strength to rise every time you fall, to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear, and to stay committed to your purpose despite the obstacles that may come your way. And the truth is, resilience is forged not in the moments when everything is going right, but in the moments when everything is going wrong. You see, it's easy to stay motivated when things are easy. When the sun is shining, when the road is smooth, when everything is falling into place just as you imagine. But real resilience is built in the storm. It's in those times of struggle, when life challenges you and tests your limits, that your true strength is revealed. And the key to building that resilience, the key to bouncing back stronger every time, lies in one powerful thing: action. Taking action in the face of adversity is what builds the muscle of resilience. It's in making the choice to move forward even when every part of you feels like stopping, that you discover the depth of your strength. You don't wait for the perfect moment or for the conditions to be just right, because the truth is, they never will be. You take the next step, no matter how small, and through those steps, you begin to reinforce your ability to face challenges with courage and perseverance. Action is the antidote to fear. It's easy to be paralyzed by the unknown, to stay stuck in the uncertainty of what comes next. But when you take action, when you decide that you will not be defeated by fear or doubt, you create momentum. Even the smallest action moves you forward, and with each step you build confidence. It's the willingness to keep going, even when it feels like you're not making progress, that gradually strengthens your resolve. But resilience doesn't just come from taking action, it comes from taking the right action. It's in choosing to act in the face of adversity, to keep your eyes on your goal, even when distractions try to pull you away, that you become unshakable. It's about moving with purpose even when the path is unclear. You may not always know how you'll get to where you want to go, but as long as you keep moving, you are building resilience. It's not about having all the answers, it's about continuing to take steps toward the future, even when it seems uncertain. The more you act in the face of adversity, the more you start to trust yourself. You realize that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You learn to find solutions rather than dwell on problems. With every challenge you face and every decision you make, you become stronger and more capable of handling the next one. But action isn't just about pushing forward when things are tough. It's about learning from your mistakes, adapting and adjusting your approach. Sometimes the first step you take won't lead to the results you expected, and that's okay. Resilience isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about being willing to try again, to fail forward, to learn from the setbacks, and to keep pushing ahead. Every misstep is an opportunity for growth. Every failure a chance to get better, to refine your approach, to become more resourceful. Think about the most resilient people you know. They didn't get there by waiting for life to be easy. They got there by showing up, by taking action, by refusing to quit. Even when things got tough, they faced setbacks, failures, and heartbreak, but they kept going. They built resilience by taking one step after another, no matter how difficult, no matter how many times they stumbled. And now their resilience is a part of them. It's woven into the fabric of who they are. They don't back down from challenges because they know that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to become stronger, to become more. You too can build resilience. You can become someone who faces obstacles not with fear or hesitation, but with confidence, with courage, with the understanding that every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to reinforce your inner strength. Each step you take, each action you choose, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of your resilience. The more action you take, the more resilience you build, until one day you'll look back and realize that the person you become is someone who is unstoppable, someone who rises stronger after every fall. There's a powerful truth that many of us overlook. When you own your own strength, you give others permission to do the same. The more you step into your own power, the more you empower the people around you to rise up and embrace theirs. Your strength isn't just yours, it's a gift, a beacon of possibility that can inspire others to step into their own greatness. When you own your strength, you don't just change your life, you begin to change the lives of those around you in ways you may never even realize. We often think of strength as a solitary thing, as something we must hold on to for ourselves, as if we must hoard it to maintain our own success. But the truth is, true strength is expansive. It doesn't diminish when shared. In fact, it multiplies. When you stand in your power, when you show up authentically, when you push through adversity with courage and resilience, you become a model for others to follow. You show them what's possible. You show them that they too have the power to overcome, to rise, and to achieve. Too often we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of what others might think. We shrink ourselves because we're worried that shining too brightly might make others uncomfortable. But the opposite is true. When you choose to step into your own strength, you create a space for others to do the same. You become a mirror for them to see the power that lies within themselves. It's like the ripple effect of a single drop in water. Your strength spreads outward, touching people in ways you may never fully understand.